And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Here's Nix. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Now it's Nix. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I'll bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I've got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Yellow. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
from 13 yards out.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now 21-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse it. This is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way, because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A give to Williams, running right. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack.
Michael Dana
Showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Well, certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Michael Dana
drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Open man right side is Rice.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter, they're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Denver's offense ready to go again. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here.
Nix to the air. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 2.
Let's go now.
Throwing Nix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
Got a man open, it's Sutton. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Here's Nix once more. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And now here comes Kansas City. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 44-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Now it's Mahomes again. Open man, it's the tight end Kelsey. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Rashee Rice, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs open the lead up to 34-0. Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Denver's offense ready to go again. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They begin the drive with Williams. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Here we go, set.
Back to throw. Nix. Blitz coming, and down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do it better.
And he's going to go down again. Nick Bolton providing a little deja vu. Back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because The entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And he's off to a fast start throwing the football. Pretty good numbers already for just the first quarter of play. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything.
Travis Kelce. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelce, 55 yards.
And the Chiefs have taken a 6-touchdown lead. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes.
Butker on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 1. Here's a quick throw out to Mims.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows to get the ball to him right away.
Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
Absolutely. There, the ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
That's complete to Troutman, right side.
Just a gain of a couple there. And 3rd and 8 now.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 25-yard line.
Hey, smash.
Off the play fake, Nix. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Out to it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
They run with a former Bengal. It's Samaje Perine.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Mahomes going to throw. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. That is pulled in by a diamond Kelsey. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 33. Throwing now is Mahomes.
He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelsey with his second touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Chiefs extend their lead yet again.
Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it culminates in a Travis Kelsey touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
To throw is Nix.
Sutton reeling it in on the left side. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix.
And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. That's taken on the 25. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's come out of the gates hot. He's been on target with his throws, and that's reflected in the numbers as they'll look to keep it going here. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Yellow.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
2nd and 10.
Yellow, yellow.
Up the middle, here's Pirine. And he'll be down close to the 1st down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 29. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Trying for it with Pirine. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 42 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Mahomes now to throw. And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. Rashee Rice with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one. Butker on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And we get another look now at this Broncos offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now it's Nix. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
When you run into slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. Nix from the shotgun. And the Chiefs are going to get him. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. That's taken it around the 40. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That ball caught. It's Rice. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Rashee Rice on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs are pouring it on. So that is going to tie an NFL record that has stood for more than 70 years. 7 touchdown passes in one game. It was first done by Sid Luckman of the Bears in 1943, then by Adrian Burke of the Eagles in 54, and now that mark equaled here in this one. Butker now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Broncos about set to go on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, And it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here's Nix.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Michael Dana
able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
He finds Hopkins complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
That's good for our Kansas City Chiefs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Yellow. 10 at the 27-yard line.
Mahomes to throw once more.
That's into the hands of Worthy once again.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Touchdown!
Rashee Rice
on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, 1 behind the all-time record of 5. So that is a big one, folks. Can you believe it? 8 passing touchdowns in a single game until today. That had never been done in NFL history.
Butker on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's taken down, a cheap sack.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
You doing okay over there, partner? Because actually had another sack in this game that you just had to call. We're not even at halftime yet. No wonder this team has the lead. What an effort by the defense right from the word go. The adjustments at halftime, they're going to have to be big, or this could really get ugly in the second half.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. Taking it about the 36. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7.
The home team's offense and their running back Isaiah Pacheco getting set for this next possession. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now.
Now Mahomes.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Partner, that's excellent timing right there. Breaking off the route and being able to hit it right when he stops.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes.
That is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Play action. Now it's Mahomes.
That is caught.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Punt.
forcing his way into the end zone. He was not to be denied. It's a touchdown. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. 5 plays there on that drive. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And Denver getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force. On first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw, here's Nix. It's complete to Williams. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
Taken in at the 22. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards. And the Chiefs just continue to roll. Butker on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And coming out now, the Broncos. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. To Sean Wharton, never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. So on the heels of the sack, they knock him backwards in the running game.
So now it's up to the offense coordinator talking directly into the helmet of his quarterback to instill a little bit of confidence here.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. George Karlaftis. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for Denver. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Taking on the midfield logo. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over.
The home team's offense and their wide receiver getting set for this next possession. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. An incomplete. First down, that leads to a 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense on third down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll look to throw again. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Hey, nothing to see here. Just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Left sideline, a dime, and it looks like he's got it. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the 2.
He may go back to the huddle and have a little discussion with his passer. You know, maybe you don't have to leave me quite that much. But on that play, bailed him out in a big way, didn't he?
He did indeed. Hey, at least he gets to put it on the highlight reel.
Yellow.
Pacheco is into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak,
at maximum.
On. You can't give the guy a skirt steak.
That's true. Filet,
times.
filet,
There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. Butker now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. So the Broncos coming out now.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On play action, here's Nix.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yard. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Nix to the air.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. George Karlaftis able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. Taken in at the 48. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs extend their lead yet again.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Half to Remember, wouldn't you? His second return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. And they don't get it. They tried for the two-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Set to take over. The Broncos offense trots back out. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that point from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Throwing Nix.
He's got it to Williams. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
To throw is Nix.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Ready, go!
Off the play fake, Nix. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Well, that was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be fourth down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it'll give the Broncos a first down. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Well, it will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high-percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Now it's Nix.
And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on. Now Lutz for the field goal try. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Chiefs offense and Rashee Rice headed back onto the field. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final done.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes now to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And that will be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, they picked up the first down, but I'm just going to say it. I didn't like it before the ball was snapped, and I don't like it now that they picked it up. Think about field position on their own side of the 50. They don't get it. They put their defense in a bad spot, and it's just not a decision that pays off very often.
Well, it wasn't 4th and a yard. There was some meat on that bone.
There really was. Fortunate to get it in that situation.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Chiefs are pouring it on. And that last touchdown pass not only put 6 points on the board, it also puts his name into the record books for the most touchdown passes in a single game.
Butker on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Denver's offense now set to go. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little...